the last week of spring ball. How do you feel like you guys have done with that so far?
Good. I think it's been really good. The guys are enjoying it. They've bought in. I think they, especially my guys, being the wide out and the throws and those type of things. It's a it's a fun offense to play in for a receiver. So it's been really good. Been good to learn, and from myself, to learn from Coach Kitley and learn new things about ball and new ways to do things. And it's been really good.
Yeah, I know you just said fun offense for the receivers to play in. Watching you guys Saturday, it doesn't look like any of the quarterbacks are afraid to throw it down the field, Bailey especially. I guess what have you seen in terms of that and trying to get some of those chunk plays? I know that's something that you guys didn't have as many of as you maybe would have liked to last year.
Yeah, you gotta. I think there's a lot that goes into that of getting that stuff. It doesn't just happen, and you got to have an accurate quarterback. The line's got to protect a little longer to be able to push the routes down the field, and you got to have guys that can go make plays. And I think we've added a couple pieces in both the outside receiver room and the inside receiver room that can do that are really going to put stress on the defense. So far at practice, against our own defense, who we know is a pretty good Conference USA defense, we've done a nice job. So, which has only added to the buy-in by the players, which is a good thing.
I know you just said you added some pieces inside and outside room. Your guys specifically, I guess, who's really stood out to you so far this spring?
Well, I think I've had a good amount of guys. I haven't gotten to see Jarrett Stearns as much this spring due to a couple different factors of being in and out of the lineup for a couple different reasons. Josh is a really good player. What Josh brings is his headiness, his savviness, his being smart. Josh Stearns, I'm talking about, having some speed. Been really impressed with Dayton Wade, Dalvin. It's taken us a little longer there, Dayton, Dalvin, Malachi, to learn it, which is to be expected. We got to continue to press them doing that, but it's a learning curve, learning different ways of how to do things and how Coach Kitley wants it, and how, to be quite honest with you, how the quarterback wants it. You look at Josh and Jarrett; they've been playing with, Jarrett a couple years and Josh a year with playing with Bailey. That really helps. It helps the timing, it helps the quarterback trust you and those things. So, I think my 5 scholarship guys that I have in my room, I think have really shown really, really good. And I'll be honest, I've been really, really impressed with Kyle McNamara as well. I think Kyle's done a lot of really good things. Kyle's smart, plays hard. There's not a harder worker in our room more than him. And so I think he's going to bring something to this room and to our offense of being able to go do some things.
One of those guys you mentioned was Dalvin. He was coming on. It seemed like really strong last year at the time that he got hurt. And I know he's battled some injuries over the years going back to his high school days. I guess from the beginning of last year, watching him come on, working through that injury, now it looks like he's pretty strong out there. I see him in the top speed things that the football recruiting Twitter post after every practice. What's it been like watching him, from the beginning of last year up until this point now for everything he's been through?
Well, it's good to have him back out there. It is a complete joy to coach Dalvin Smith. He is first off, a phenomenal human being, a phenomenal kid. I'd adopt him as my son if his family would let him. That's how much I think about him. But football wise, he's a freak. He's 6'2", maybe even pushing 6'3". He's 190 pounds. As you've seen, he runs close to 22 miles an hour. He's got a great catch radius. He's got really long arms, long limbs. He can really, really jump. He was a great basketball player in high school. The thing for him is the learning curve. He's got he's kind of put his hand in the ground a little bit. And, you get a bad rap sometimes of these injury guys of, okay, I pulled my hamstring. Oh, I've done this, I've done that. Dalvin's injuries are a broken leg and this stuff you can't. That's not a knock on him type deal. He's out there busting his butt playing ball last year in the game, and I knew it was a home game, and we're running wide there to the left, and he breaks his leg. That's ball. That's part of playing football. That's the risk you take when you play. So that's not a knock on Dalvin. It's as tough as he is to come back as fast as he did. So I'm really, really excited about Dalvin. I'm really, really excited about what he can do on the football field. Just got to get him going. We got to get him to play fast. And by that I got to coach him better. I got to get him to understand what to do quicker so that he can go play fast and he's not thinking. And, ultimately that comes down to me.
Coach Kitley might be a better guy to ask this question to, because it's his offense or his system, whatever, that he's bringing to you guys. It's obviously a lot of throwing the ball. I think back to this past Saturday where it's pouring rain. Does that concern you at all with that style? Just that the weather might not be bad and you have to kind of factor that into it, or does that change the way you approach things at all where things get slippery?
Well, I mean, it's short of it. I look back at, probably one of the better football teams this school has ever seen is the 2015 team that, we went down there and played LSU, and we were really, really excited about it. And we threw the ball over the park. We were really excited to get to go play LSU. We knew it was going to be an uphill battle, but, we thought we were pretty good. And we thought, if we could keep it close and hang around for a little while. So we thought we'd have had a chance. And short of it monsooning like it did like that, short of it being a hurricane, and it doesn't change your plan a whole lot. I'll tell you the good thing about, a lot of our quarterbacks is they got really big hands. And when you had, that stuff matters. I'm a big believer in quarterbacks. You got to have big hands to hold on to the ball, to, certain type of play fakes. And with all the RPOs everybody does nowadays, that helps. And, Bailey's got big hands and it helps him. And I think you saw, we had a little bit of weather on Saturday and it didn't affect him one bit. So, like I said, short of it being a hurricane out there and it's where you dang near can't get the snap, no, it doesn't affect you a whole lot.
And, things winding down in the spring, like I said, I guess what's kind of the goal for Saturday now?
Come out of it healthy. We've, as coaches, Saturday's more for the fans, which is, is good. As coaches, we've kind of seen what we've needed to see. This last week is really about shoring some things up, getting some things on film. We want to be able to coach a little more in the off season. Continuing to, you got some new quarterbacks, you got some new receivers. So continuing to get the timing stuff down with those guys, that type of thing. But, the biggest thing about Saturday is all the guys that walk on the field walk off. And that for us is just making sure we get out of there healthy and we go into the summer, into the fall with our full